What's up, nerds? Welcome to Cartoon Universe, or welcome back as the case may be, and today we begin our epic quest alongside the Mighty Nein, the title troupe of the upcoming animated series from Amazon Prime based on the second campaign of Critical Role. But before we dive in, I should introduce myself and give some context on my perspective going forward. My name is Elle, I'm new to the channel, hello. I'm a game developer, interactive narrative designer, and big fan of tabletop role-playing games. I've played and am playing a number of campaigns in a number of systems. I love a good actual play series, and I love seeing how the wide, wild worlds of TTRPGs get adapted into other media forms. So, of course, this show is right up my alley. Regarding Critical Role specifically, for those not in the know, it is a Dungeons & Dragons actual play series run by a group of, as they refer to themselves, nerdy-ass voice actors, who you may have heard in your favorite video games, anime, or what have you. They began airing on Twitch in 2015, and as of this video, their fourth campaign started just last month. In 2022, Amazon Prime released an animated series based on the original campaign, The Ongoing Legend of Vox Machina, with the players returning to voice their characters. And this November 19th will see the magic made all over again with the premiere of The Mighty Nein. Now, I love me some Dungeons & Dragons, and I have seen the original Vox Machina campaign and its animated series. By contrast, however, I can count the number of Mighty Nein sessions I've seen on one hand, and I can use the other hand to count how many years it's been since then. Look, it was either I watched this cool show or graduate college. Stay in school, kids. So, while I'm familiar with the game systems and world this story is set in terms of plot and characters, I'm functionally going in blind. So I hope that as I go through the series, old fans can appreciate my fresh eyes and new watchers can find my insights helpful and interesting. With all of that preamble out of the way, let's get to the show. Or, well, not the show just yet. As I mentioned earlier, it doesn't drop until the 19th. However, knowing the importance of a good first impression, the team did not skimp on the production and release of trailers. For this video, I've looked at the sneak peek, official trailer, IGN exclusive clip, and the What's the Difference featurette, all of which are linked in the pinned comment below if you haven't checked them out yet. Also down there is the Cartoon Universe Discord. Don't just take my word for everything, form your own opinions, build your own hype. Go ahead, pause this video and go watch. I'll be right here waiting for you when you're done. Alright, everyone knows what they're getting into now? Great, let's crack in. So, here we are, returning to the lands of Exandria. The animation is as stylish as ever, the music goes just as hard, and the world is just as full of ancient threats and magical mysteries. But we won't be retreading the same ground, quite literally. While the greater setting and laws of the land remain the same, by the time Mighty Nein begins, Vox Machina is long ago and far away, as the audience is ushered onto an entirely new continent with its own history, mystic cultures, and political conflicts, which this series will take its time to explore, again literally, as this series boasts longer episodes than its predecessor. Doing some back-of-the-napkin math, we can expect an additional hour's worth of content compared to Vox Machina Season 1. Side note, this is frankly one of the most interesting and rewarding things they could have done with this world. Having created something successful, rather than succumbing to the temptation to lean on fan service and fall back on what worked before, the Critical Role team had the courage and enthusiasm to truly expand the setting, giving existing fans more to love and new viewers a point of entry, a philosophy that the team is explicitly carrying over into this adaptation. As stars and producers Travis Willingham and Sam Riegel discussed, this won't just be a shot-for-shot remake, as it were, of the original campaign. Between the necessities of adapting the improvisation and organized chaos of a D&D campaign to a traditional television format, and wanting to keep the world and story fresh for all audiences, the show promises twists in plot and perspective to keep even die-hard fans on their toes. In any case, with this campaign's greater emphasis on world building, I don't find myself as concerned as I at first feared with the admittedly rather basic setup of the plot. Thwart the dangerous MacGuffin, in this case the mysterious celestial beacon, may be a stock fantasy plot hook, but the classics are classics for a reason, and by building a suitably complex world for that plot thread to weave itself through, that setup can take all kinds of interesting shapes. As in any great other world, the world should shape the plot and affect the characters as much as vice versa, and I trust the Critical Role team to pull this off. But of course, what truly drives the story, what drives any good D&D campaign, are the characters, and these trailers do a great job keeping the party in the spotlight. The sneak peek quickly hooks us on the characters via their differing reactions to a mysterious disaster, one which is further teased in the promotional clip, while the main trailer gives us more insight into their dynamic with each other and the world. If I had to pick someone, or someones, to compare this group to, it would be the Guardians of the Galaxy, specifically the modern version. Comic fans don't at me. Unlike Vox Machina, who for all their dysfunction teamed up themselves in pursuit of heroic goals, the Mighty Nein are eccentric drifters and shady outcasts thrust together by circumstance. Making these cross-series character comparisons is especially fascinating when you consider what medium is being adapted. This isn't a studio reusing a voice cast between shows, these actors created these characters to inhabit and have fun with, and it's interesting to see what changes and what carries over between the roles they choose to play. Travis Willingham is once again a big dude, but this one seems to have a little more going on between the ears, particularly as a caster. Sam Riegel is once again a little freak, but he's traded more traditional charisma for pathetic wet cat energy. Also, it's always interesting to see how people play roles across gender. Taliesin Jaffe is bringing us more edgy homebrew realness, and while I'm not sure what to expect from his character, I've seen enough LA by Night to know that Mr. Jaffe can play one slick bastard. I've also seen enough LA by Night to know that Marisha Ray can play one badass queer woman. Sure, we haven't technically seen any confirmation of that in the trailers, but come on. Look at her. Or maybe I'm just projecting. Wrap me in those pythons and tell me everything's gonna be okay. Anywho, Liam O'Brien is tragic and having fun with languages again. Yes, thieves can't count facts. Ashley Johnson is mostly absent, and Laura Bailey doesn't just wear blue, she is blue. I have to say, her character Jester is not only very different to her predecessor Vex, but a highlight of the trailers for me, and it is refreshing to see a female lead not just be the primary comic relief, but also to be just as horny figuratively as she is literally. There may be something to be said later on about how the narrative treats her sexuality versus Knott's, but that will have to wait until the actual series drops. Overall, there's a lot to like about how Jester's character is being presented so far. She's enthusiastic and whimsical without being infantilized, competent and powerful without being idealized, and crudely comical with the requisite D&D penchant for quasi-anachronistic cultural references without being looked down on for it. Also, between the IGN clip and the Tusk Love Easter egg in Legend of Vox Machina, I feel pretty confident in pairing her and Fjord up in my head. Plus, the actors are married in real life for extra adorable points. Speaking of those two in that clip, we get to see their specific flavors of magic as they battle, and I love the reinterpretations of classes and spells on display already. A water warlock whose misty step is less misty and more splashy, a cleric who talks to their patron like an imaginary friend and whose ideal weapon is a lollipop warhammer. These are the kinds of unconventional flavors that the Crit Role cast does so well, embracing the creative potential of D&D. Perhaps in this era of the RPG renaissance, some might find these sorts of reinventions commonplace, maybe even try hard, I've heard, but I would rather dry swallow a D4 than see another stodgy dwarf barbarian or human fighter with dead wife. If you brought that to my table, you better have either Pulitzer-worthy plot hooks or real-life plate armor to deflect the DM guide I throw at you. Again, even if it doesn't work out, I'd rather see someone try something new and fun. Ultimately, these trailers have successfully left one hell of an impression, and based on these studios' track record so far, I am more than hopeful that the show can live up to its marketing. But we'll have to wait for November 19th to find out for sure if the Nine are as mighty as they claim. I know I'll be pulling up Prime Video the first chance I get. Speaking of which, you can expect new videos breaking down the series to pop up here on the channel in the coming weeks, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. Until then, if you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you have your own observations of the trailers and would like to discuss more about the series, leave a comment below or check out the Cartoon Universe Discord server in the pinned comment. Let me know if I missed anything interesting. If you're nice about it, I'll gladly shout you out. Thank you all for watching, especially for watching my first video on this channel, and may all your rolls be nat 20s.